Promotion Conference that will start from 16th to 18th of October this very year, and of course the Safe Motherhood Conference also that is set to begin from 28th. Those are health conferences that you do not need to miss, about more learning and of course meeting the high expert panelists that you'll learn more and more from them. And of course for this program, I am Kamara Daniel. Mr. Jacob, you are most welcome to Google Data Vision.
Thank you very much. I'm privileged to be here. My name is Jacob Grace Chitio and I'm a clinical psychologist from the Department of Makerere University, Mental Health.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Grace, for coming. And of course, we would want to quickly begin off of that topic. But before we go to bipolar affective disorders, what is mental health in general complexity? And why did you choose basically the bipolar affective disorders? I was reading something and I found out that actually 1 in 150 people globally live with bipolar affective disorders.
That's right. Yeah, basically, bipolar affective disorders, like you hear the name, it's a group of disorders. You can, for better understanding, think about it as a bunch.
Okay, a bunch.
Yeah, of disorders, each with different length.
Okay.
Good. So for you to be part of that bunch, you don't have to be ranging from the beginning to the end. Look at it like a number line or a bridge. I don't know what everyone can easily relate to, but look at it as something that starts from here to the other end. So you can just be in the middle. That's when we consider you to be normal.
Okay, so when we say a bunch, can you please list some of other disorders that are inside the bipolar affective disorder, so that our viewers can know that among the bipolar affective disorders you have the following conditions on the list?
Yes, there are quite a number. The first one is bipolar 1.
Okay.
Then we have bipolar 2.
You can speak a little bit about each. When you say bipolar 1, of course we want to know. You can just give mentioning. If you remember mentioning in university,
yes,
just mention.
So what you can understand about bipolar 1, it ranges. I wanted to give you a background so that when I'm explaining the different types, people can relate.
Please do.
So look at a number line that starts from one extreme to the other extreme.
10.
Okay. 1 to 10. So what is the middle number for 10?
It is 5.
5. Probably in the middle of 5 and 6. That's where we have
no, we got 1 to 4, 5 central, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These okay, let's use 12 so that we have 6 this side and 6 this side, and we leave the 1. Okay, we use 13.
Use 13.
Let's use an even number so that you can have 1 in the middle.
That is the best. So we have our number line that goes up to 11, and in the middle we are having our 6. So for you and me who believe that we are normal as pertaining to mood, because this is a mood disorder. So if your moods are in the normal, then you are at number 6.
Okay.
But when sometimes maybe you get excited, you can go to the above 6, which we can call the side of mania. And then this other side below 6, when maybe you get a problem, a simple problem that can last for maybe a few hours or few days, and it is not really defective, so you're not sick, so you come down, go up like that. In the middle is where we call normal.
Okay.
Now when we talk about bipolar affective disorders, we are saying someone is either at the maximum which is 13, or at the minimum, which is 1. Yet is supposed to be in the middle.
In the neutral.
Yes.
So wow. So now can we go into the bipolar 1, 2, 3, maybe up to the one you want? Then later we demystify the complexity around mania, and also we talk about the
major depression.
Yes, please.
Okay. So below is where we have our mania 1.
Let's begin with mania.
Yeah,
it seems to be the most common around.
We'll begin with mania.
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, and you're right. The major reason why mania seems to be easily identified is that these people talk. So the one who has depression, much as is also according to the recent research, it is also common, but someone is going to hide in their houses. So you probably not know. You just hear about it when they take their lives away by society. So when you go to the side of mania, like you requested,
because depression is a little bit common, every person has spoken about depression.
Yes.
And of course, we would want to first begin with the novel one, then we come to the most common one.
Okay. So that will necessitate us to begin with mania 2. Mania 2 is having a major, you would call it mania, like at the extreme, because we have what we call hypomania, and then we have full-blown mania.
The frat one.
Yes. So just past 6, as you go to 7.
Isn't that one normal? Because everyone is a bit manic.
Yes, like I told you, so it depends on how long you stay in that phase. So like if we started here, and I all of a sudden got excited, and I cannot allow you speak, I'm speaking alone, yet you are my host. So you begin thinking, what's wrong today? But if we meet again the second day and I'm still the same, we meet the third day and I'm still the same, you begin thinking of maybe I could call a psychologist to see my psychologist.
Okay.
Yes.
So in mania 2?
Bipolar 2.
Bipolar 2.
Yes. We are talking about bipolar 2. It has a very big end of mania.
Okay.
So mania is up to the end, like up to 13.
Okay.
According to our number line. Yet mania 1 will come from, rather bipolar 1 will come from 1. It will reach the middle. Of course, it has covered the side of depression, and then when it reaches the middle, it exceeds to a level that you would call hypomania. So it is not that someone is so much over themselves and they are excited, they are telling everyone as the president of Uganda and all those kind of things. Someone is too happy and there is really nothing making them happy. So that continues for a long period of time.
If a person is generally happy.
Yes.
So let's talk about mania very well.
Yes.
Let's now list the signs and symptoms of mania. How can you tell that Kamara has mania? Maybe, and also we talk about the different types of mania. A few of them that are common. We don't want to talk about uncommon things where they don't appear common.
Yeah. And for today, we are, because these things are very broad, we are giving details of bipolar, because someone can just be having mania as a diagnosis, but is not having bipolar.
Okay.
So we are looking at the mania, which is part of bipolar.
Even if we jump a little bit, because it is all mental health.
Yes. So to answer that question, I'll give you the details of the mania phase.
Please do.
Yes. So like I've given you the first example. Someone is manic but is in bipolar 2 or bipolar 1. So when they are in that phase of manic, how do they behave? So you can find that someone is not able to calm down. Just continuously goes up in that direction of excitement. Yes. And they cannot be calmed down. And then maybe the other simple or common example that you will be familiar with, if you've been around someone in that phase, it is very hard for them to sleep. They will talk and talk and talk, and when it comes the time for sleeping, they will just go to bed like maybe 2 hours after spending 24 hours of no sleep.
And they wake up seeing you.
When they wake up, they're actually stronger than they were before. So for you, you can sleep for 4 hours and you feel you're still tired. But to them, they just feel that sleep is not important. And they actually feel that inside them they would maybe sleep, but they sleep and within an hour, the sleep is gone.
What could be the pathophysiology of mania? Just, I think we shall later talk about that. I wanted to listen to the signs and symptoms of mania, despite not being a little part of the bad. I wanted to know if it has excitement, if it has excessive happiness, like those simple, like 5 of them. Then later we go to the types.
Maybe you can talk about impaired judgment.
They cannot judge between wrong and right?
Not necessarily. But for example, if you are entering a business deal, you are saying, I'm tired of working here, I want to go and start my own business. And then you get all the money you had and you invest it into a business that you totally know nothing about.
That's how they do it.
Exactly. That is just an example of impaired judgment. How do you've been in media and now you say, okay, I'm going into spare parts. So you get all the 100 millions you had, you say, okay, here it is, I want now to sell spare parts. And you lose all your money in a minute.
So that means that doesn't money affect planning? Maybe
it does.
Maybe money. I guess everyone has money at one at one point.
Let me give you another example of that, of something similar to that. Someone goes out and is sleeping with whoever he finds.
Chikabuka.
Or someone is a lady and everyone who says, yes, I suggest, off they go.
Banai. Even if you are married already?
Exactly. So when we compare how you were before and how you are after that, then we can see a sharp difference in your reasoning. Then we begin thinking maybe he needs to see someone. So our dear viewers, we are doing this so that you can be able to know someone who needs help, not someone whom you want to judge. That I think this person
it is hard for the community person to identify mania. It's very, very hard unless maybe the symptoms have worsened. Let's give a little light about the types. Let's give maybe like 3 common ones.
Like I told you, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, and then the one which is in the middle of them. Yes.
There is somewhere I was reading about the erotomania, the what?
You were reading about types of mania.
Yes. They're the ones I'm interested in to know, because we need to know so that if a person is behaving like this, we know this person needs help. Because at least each symptoms come in different types.
Okay. Maybe what I can give you with mania, there is what we call hypomania. this person will seem to be normal, like you said, but is overexcited for a long period of time. You get the point. So that one is the one who is hard to identify. So from there, that is where someone progresses if you don't notice. That's why it is very important that you get to know what we call the telltale signs of this phase of bipolar. And maybe to add on a little, there are many people that are on treatment for bipolar and they are working. For them, they know their problem, they take their drugs, and it is just on rare occasion, maybe they forgot to take their drugs, that something goes overboard, and for them they realize before you even realize. So it is all about us being sensitive to this, just the way someone would be having malaria and they are working. For them, they know they are sick, and for you don't know. But now that is something that the people that are around you should be able to maybe assess, and they're like, you know what, there is this and this, maybe you could see a specialist and he helps us diagnose. You should know that this is not something you're going to diagnose from home. But when you see anything different from the normal, then you call out for a specialist.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob, for joining us on Google Data Vision. This is Health and Beauty program. And of course, we are talking about bipolar affective disorders, which are part of the mental health. Mental health has increased its stake in Uganda because the number of the people going through this are very many. And of course, it could be you, it could be me, or it could be your friend or relative who the public has judged or called mentally sick people, maybe has labeled them the way they want. But it's very important for us to identify these people and refer them appropriately to the centers where they would get help from. And the good enough is that we have very many wellness centers these days. Mental health clinics have increased the numbers. Often see safe places has come on board. I see Tabika, I see other very many different, I see Shonya and Sound Mental Health, Umafu, and very many. All those people have set up those places for your mental health well-being. Even counseling. People actually do not value counseling. Talk to someone. Please come and talk to the counselors, not me. The counselors will provide you the support, and of course you will be relieved. And of course, remember, if you share your problem, your healing time increases, and of course you also recover to be a better person. But I want to emphasize the need for you to go for screening. Every time you feel that you need to talk to someone, please go and talk to someone. I still have Mr. Jacob still Grace, and he's still telling us about bipolar affective disorders. I'm just worried, Mr. Grace, if at least every person has suffered these conditions at one point, and maybe God has healed us.
Yes.
Because what is the pathophysiology of these diseases?
This is still under research. Finding out how exactly they develop. What is already found is what we call risk factors. Okay, so can we go through the risk factors for a person to get them? Because according to what I've just, that's why, if the research is still going on, that's why we have a lot of conceptions and beliefs around these conditions. The misconceptions and the beliefs around these conditions is still very high. What could be some of the risk factors? Except head injury. Yes.
Except head injury. Where this, if you get head injury, you may be at risk of getting mental health.
Yes. They are categorized into three. So you can look at the environment where you are. Then you look at the genetic bit of it, and then the neurochemical factors.
Let's talk about the environment. The people surrounding you.
Yes.
They become toxic. Your friend start asking you, when are you marrying?
Yes.
Can that also predispose you? Just like I wanted to ask you, are you married?
Definitely.
So that's our viewer. Please continue.
I'm married for 5 years to shout Grace Chitio. Greetings.
Let's continue here.
Yes, so the environmental, we can look at what we can start with what we just talked about, the stress. Stress from the environment where you are, people are putting you on pressure over different things. It can even be work-related stress, and that can be a risk factor for you to develop such a difficult to treat disease.
Okay.
And of course, still under the environment, it goes back to your childhood. If you had childhood traumas, you are also at risk of developing such a disease.
Okay.
Yes.
Then let's go to the neurotoxic. You said neurotoxic?
Yes. When you go to the neurotoxic, basically these are more to do with the medical terms, but in simple way, if I'm to break it down for you, talk about neurotransmitter imbalance.
Okay.
So that's why I'm
when the
telling
dopamine,
you.
the serotonin,
Exactly.
the good feeling hormones in short, we call
Yes.
them the good feeling hormones.
Yes. So if they are not well balanced, you can end up developing this. Yes.
Okay. That's amazing. And of course, dear viewers, we want to thank you for watching Health and Beauty program with me, Kamara Daniel. And of course, I want to invite you to join our social media platforms of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, with Google Data Vision. And of course, you post your comment, your opinion, or your suggestion. Maybe you have a question to our specialist today about any mental health condition. Do not be specific. If you're not specific to what you are having, maybe what you think you have, please send it as a mental health question, and then our specialist will answer you from here, Google Data Vision. I want to invite
oyagala by'ofumba bijje mangu nga tofunye buzibu bwa mukka kosa bulamu bwo weekwate mobile stoves tukukolera ebyoto ebikekkereza enku wamu n'amanda omuli ebyoto bya sola ebikozesa volcanic stones wamu n'olusennyente nga tukolera ne biogas okuva mu busa saako oven gattako sawuna erigwa owawaka naawe wa bizinensi ku bbeeyi etakubya ntunnonsi kati naba amasomero amalwaliro awaka amakanisa factories hotels wamu ne restauranti mutuyite tubazimbire ebyoto bino kuba 078 47 08 96 ne 0750 82 oba jangu ku ofiisi zaffe Namugongo kyali Wajjara Road opposite ne Dawson Petrol Station esangibwa kulidde ekireka.
Pastor Pasteri Music Center, located along Chagwe Road on Serwaniko Music Plaza, shop number B4 in Justine Arcade, shop number G73 next to Chiseka Market, brings you all music and audio equipment and electronics like brass band items, including drums, saxophones, trombones and cornets, top speakers, bass beams, amplifiers, digital mixers, guitars, flat TV screens, keyboards, domestic lights and stage lights, cord and cordless microphones, studio monitors, sound cards, and all recording studio equipment. For deliveries and orders from abroad, call Pastor Pasteri on 0752 008 443 or 0782 008 443. Pastor Pasteri Music Center.
abajje Viki ffe tusinga mu byamataka ffe tusinga ffe abajje Viki Properties Limited banno ddala mu kutunda plots mu bitundu ebyenjawulo ate nga nteeketeeke ziina n'ebyapa byesigika hohohoho tulina n'amataka ag'okulimirako gwayagala okulima n'okulunda tweyune ennyumba ez'okugula n'okupangisa nazo tuzirina tukuba pulaani n'okuddaabiriza amayumba n'ebizimbe ebikadde era n'okuzimba tugoba ku biwandiiko by'ettaka saako n'emmotoka empya tuzirina tusangibwa Nansana Kohima Road awo ku Post Bank opposite Total Nabweru atwetaaze kuba ku namba z'essimu zino wammanga noti 759 noti 2 oba noti 756 noti 714 abajeviki ffe tusinga mu byamataka ffe tusinga.
Gugude TV, lighting your soul.
Once again, you're most welcome from a short quick break, and of course we're still talking about mental health and being specific to the bipolar affective disorders. Before we left, let me give you a quick summary of what we've been able to talk about. We've defined what mental health is, what bipolar affective disorders are, and we've said these are a bunch of mental health conditions that come together to go on. We've talked about the scale, how your moods are always either 1 to 11, and we've said you should be in the neutral, which is 6. And we first talked about the bipolar 1, 2, mania. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of depression, and then later we'll go, how do we seek attention, medical attention or psychological attention in case you are suffering from this disease. It's very important for you to know that mental health, it's part of your health. It's not a neglected element that you should underlook at, but rather incorporate it and use it to always know when actually, because if you're mentally unwell, you cannot know if your physical health is well or your other parts of the body if they are well. I want to invite you to join our social media handles and post the question and also the numbers that display on your TV. Send in your question and we shall be attending to you. Please, Mr. Grace, you're welcome from a quick break.
Thank you very much. We were still telling the people about the risk factors, because there is no particular cause that you can look at and you're like, this is what cause the probable cause or the sure cause of bipolar. The way you would say Plasmodium is causing malaria probably, or HIV is causing AIDS. It doesn't happen for these disorders.
Okay.
And I like the summary you gave, so people can now know that someone can be at bipolar 1, bipolar 2, or in the middle of the two. Yes.
Great. Could you please continue and talk about a little bit about depression and then how to seek proper treatment for persons living with mental health?
Okay. Let's go direct into that. Maybe before I forget, I need to let you know that if you have a family member that has ever suffered from this disorder, you are either parent or you are a son to the one who suffered, you are at risk. So that is the other category that we had not looked at by the time we went to the short break.
Okay.
Yes. So now we have already covered the side of mania, and like you've suggested, let's now go to the part of depression.
Okay.
Where someone is feeling hopeless. Yeah, the simplest way of defining depression is the feeling of hopelessness. Someone feels like, why am I even here? What is the essence of life? And
adulthood is scam.
Yes.
I often see it on Twitter, adulthood is scam. I've just eaten I have eaten only one meal the whole day. Even tomorrow I don't have any plans of eating.
Yes. So that is the point where the temptation to end a life comes in so easily. Because someone is not seeing the hope for tomorrow. And they are wondering, why don't I just do this, then I save myself. So for you, when you see someone attempting to end their life, you feel they are just joking, so you just tell them, you be serious with the life, don't worry, just be there. But at the end of that day, in psychology we call that psychological emergency. Yes, that is the point where you rush, you call in 999 to save your loved one. And of course that is the second second symptom of depression. So the feeling of hopelessness, and then that feeling of life should go.
Okay.
Yes. Of course, you see it from the outside, because when someone wants to end their life, they may not tell you, but how do you see it from the outside? Now is another symptom of extreme sadness.
Okay.
That continues for really a considerable period of time. For example, if it goes up to 14 days, you begin to think otherwise, that probably this person needs to see someone who can help out.
Does it include aggressiveness?
Aggressiveness is part of mania.
Okay.
What mania does, when someone is very much excited, he wants whatever he tells you to work, and then just by any mistake maybe tells you, I'm the president, you even get out from me, I want to sit, and then you refuse, then they can easily become aggressive. But still, in mania, there is what we call mixed mania. So that one shows with some symptoms of depression. So someone can be overexcited and overactive, over talking, and then in the middle there they have the aggression, and still mixed with extreme sadness and all these other symptoms of depression.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. There's something else you wanted to talk about.
Yes. When we do all this and we tell people how to identify these signs, and we don't tell them what they can do about it, I think they may just realize it the next day that this is exactly what Kamara and the friend were talking about, when it is maybe probably too late. So I want to tell people about the supportive mechanism. What can they do to support these people when they identify them? Probably they are diagnosed, because this is a disorder that you're going to live with in your family. Yeah, we are not going to treat and then we tell you it's finished. We are going to manage it. We are going to walk our life together. And even when you come to me as a psychologist, I'm not going to manage it alone. We work in a team.
Multidisciplinary approach.
Yes, you're going to need a psychiatrist, or we're probably going to need a counselor, and then we work together. Probably we may need an occupational therapist. When you have such a disease, probably what you've been doing to earn a living is not what you're going to continue doing, depending on what it is.
Okay.
Imagine if you're a driver, then you get a mental disorder, and then you have to go back and drive, or you were a conductor, and these are people that are going to continue shouting, give me my balance, I'm stopping there. You have to go and call them, and all that. All those are stimulants. If you've gone into the manic phase, those are stimulants that are going to bring it back. So,
so in short, we are going even to live our daily income.
Yes. So,
okay.
And when you're not working, again you're going to be depressed because your family is not eating. So our occupational therapist is going to help you find out, because we don't tell you what to do even when you come for our therapy sessions.
Yeah.
We are not here to tell you what to do. We are not the specialists of your condition. You are the specialist of your condition. So when you come to us, all we do is to work with you to find out what works in your life. Yes. So like I wanted to help the audience know what to do, how can these people be supported?
Please. How can we support maybe young people, especially the adolescents, the teenagers, the youth, the most the fragile population to manage? And you know, you boss, the statistics have revealed that we are the most young, the young population is the most bigger number that we have. So we need care. We need to be handled very, very well.
I heard that they have withdrawn the statistics. Are they still there?
Let's get into that. Just know, young people, we are the most prevalent number according to the UBOS 24. So in short, we need attention to mental health.
Yes.
And also, how can other age groups also be managed in that perspective?
Yes. And talking about the age, probably we need to tell people the age that is mostly at risk. And that is, of course, like you said, 25, rather 15 to 24.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the people that are majorly
15
at
24.
risk. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the most at risk.
Yes. So when you see your youngster misbehaving, don't rush to think maybe it is because of the church they go to, it is because of the school they go to. The cause may not be as much important at that point, because they are already in the middle of the problem.
Okay.
So you may have to get them out of the problem, then probably prevent the young ones from falling into the same ditch.
Okay.
Yes.
So being 15 to 24 is a risk factor.
Exactly.
How about others who have left the age? Do we still have it? Do we still have it in the...
Yes, of course you can still get it, but not as much risky as the people in that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about how to seek medical attention.
How to seek medical attention. Of course, that is the easiest. If someone has really understood our first episode of how to identify these telltale signs or the symptoms, seeking medical attention, you can go to a rehabilitation center, private, like some of us, the private psychologists. You can look out for us. There are now some medical centers that have these services. Like for me, when I'm not in Watavika or Makerere, I'm in SMS Medical Center. So that is one of the rare small centers that have decided to value mental health. But of course, the national referral for mental health is Botavika Hospital.
Can you go there when you are not to be admitted?
Yes.
Okay.
We have outpatient services, and you'll be seen, and then you take your medication. But still, even when you are admitted, like I told you, this is a condition that you're going to live with probably for the rest of your life. So you keep on going for the checkups and the reviews. I like giving the example of the police. There are people that they release, and then they tell you, for you every month, you just come here and we check on you, you sign here, then you go back. So that is more or less the same like what happens in the outpatient department. Someone just comes to tell the doctor that, yes, I'm here and I'm okay. And then the doctor will ask you, how are you coping with your medication? How are you adhering? Okay. What is the major challenge? Some of them report oversleeping. Some of them report overeating.
Because the drugs bring a lot of appetite.
Exactly. So they will advise you, sometimes we reduce the dose, sometimes we increase it. The major goal is to see that you are close to our midline, the 6. So if you're tending more to the manic phase, we bring you back. If you're tending more to the depressive phase, we bring you back to the neutral. Yeah.
That's amazing. Mr. Grace, as we intend to close off this discussion about the bipolar affective disorders, I'd like you to give us your concluding summary or your key points for viewers to take home.
Yeah. What I can give you as a take home is that these are mood disorders that when you look at someone like my host was saying as we were beginning, that the symptoms seem to be actually normal. So you just have to observe the person.
Over some time.
These moods are consistently they are consistently unexplainable. Like we are at a burial. Yes, we understand someone slipped and fell down, but why is this son to the deceased laughing continuously? Yes, the person fell as we are burying the father, but this person is laughing consistently. And even the next day is still laughing, and the next day is still laughing. And for you think that is okay, that is when you begin to identify that for real something is not okay with this person. And when you identify this, seek out medical attention. And when someone is at home and is probably already seeing a psychologist and a psychiatrist, probably in a rehabilitation center or in the National Referral Mental Health Center, this is what you can do. Oh, I had not mentioned that Mulago Hospital also has a full ward called BOSA, and it is for mental health. These are places where these services are not charged, except for those special things involved in there, and they come out openly. These are areas where I've seen you really go and everyone is authentic, because we prioritize mental health. So don't fear to go to these spaces. And maybe another emphasis I'll put is the stigma that is attached to these conditions. We're looking forward to a point where someone can have a mental health disorder and they openly come out and talk about it, and they are not judged for what they went through because they never welcomed it. It just came in some way.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grace, for sharing us the insights about mental health, and especially referring to the bipolar affective disorders. Now, before we intend to conclude the program, and just like you've given us a good closing remarks, do you have any other regards to your family so that we can close up?
Yeah. Shout to Grace Chitio, the mother of my children. She works with the Matuga Medical Center. Greetings to everyone around there, and of course SMS Medical Center where I work. Greetings. But not forgetting the students at postgraduate school, Makerere University, who did a very nice piece of mental health awareness. The year 1 master class, counseling psychology. I send you my best regards. Thank you very much for preparing people for the Mental Health Day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grace, for coming through, and of course for Google TV. Health and Beauty program comes back every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and repeated this very Tuesday 3 to 4 p.m. I hope to see you next time. I wish you the best. Take care of yourself. We love you so much. Bye-bye.